Okay, it's the morning of 4th of July. I didn't have time to do a full video. I have no makeup on, so you're not gonna see my face. Anyway, in this bowl, I have all the dry ingredients for a gluten-free brownie, and it is a very chewy, fudgy brownie. So I've got in here my brown sugar, my granulated sugar, gluten-free all-purpose flour, salt, and cocoa powder. Those are your dry ingredients for this recipe. In this container, I have melted butter. I think there's 2 sticks in here, and 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips melted together. Just popped them in the microwave at 30-second intervals until they were done. I will put the recipe in the comments because I don't remember the exact measurements of all of this going on in here. I also have some vanilla extract and some eggs here. So what we're gonna do is, I just like to whisk these, not the sugars, I know it sounds silly, and I'm doing this in one big massive bowl. Probably shouldn't do it this way if you're not used to it. Normally I would tell you to mix the 2 sugars together with the melted butter and the chocolate chips here, and then started adding it all together, but I just kind of got carried away and put it all in one big bowl. But over on this side, I've got my gluten-free flour, my cocoa powder, and my salt. I'm just kind of mixing that here to get it all combined. And then on the sugars, I'm gonna actually try, and we'll see how this goes. I'm actually gonna try to add my melted chocolate to this side of the bowl. It's gonna be a disaster, like, right? But what I wanna show you is, this is almost a foolproof recipe. It is super easy, so it'll be fine. No matter, even if it doesn't work, it's gonna be okay. So, I'm gonna pour, oh my gosh, that looks, I could just eat that, right? Just melted chocolate chips and butter. So there's that. Obviously seeping into everything, that's okay. Like I said, I'm just gonna stir it on this side first because I wanna get those sugars into the chocolate and the butter. But this isn't something where you need to like get out your mixer or beat it until it's light and fluffy. Like normally if you're making like a cookie recipe, then like chocolate chips even, you would want to beat the sugars together with the butter until they're a little bit fluffy and lighter in color before you add the rest of your ingredients. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of melting in those sugars to that melted butter before I add in everything else. All right, there we go, good. Okay, before I combine it on this side with the dry ingredients, I'm gonna start adding a few eggs because you would not have wanted to add the eggs to the melted butter and chocolate chips because you don't want to cook the eggs if it's too hot. So right now, this is no longer hot. You know, those dry ingredients kind of bring the temp down pretty quickly. I'm also gonna throw in my vanilla extract over here. That'll also help to cool it down. And I like to add the eggs just a little at a time. So I'm gonna just do 3 eggs there. I've got 3 more. But this recipe is a few eggs and a few egg yolks, not egg whites. All right, I'm just gonna kind of mix that in, and now I'm gonna start pulling, again, I'm just making this up as I go along. I'm gonna start pulling those dry ingredients in a little at a time as I'm mixing those eggs in. And sorry if you can hear my dog in the background, I don't know what he's doing. All right, I've got 3 more. Dump those in. Now I really need to pull that dry ingredient in. Make sure I break up those yolks. And just keep mixing. And I would say a large whisk is gonna be your best friend in this recipe. Now, the recipe that I'm gonna share with you in the comments, this is double that. So yours won't make this much batter if you're doing the recipe that I leave in the comments. That makes an 8x8 square pan. I'm gonna do this in like a 1/4 sheet. Okay, a little bit of elbow grease now going in here. Now, the secret ingredient that I'm gonna add to these fudgy brownies, which they're already good. You don't have to do this at all. You can leave it just like this. I like to add a little bit of cinnamon. It's like a Mexican chocolate brownie. If you really want a true Mexican brownie, you'll also add a little bit of cayenne pepper. And the recipe that I'm gonna share with you is gonna have those in there. It's gonna have the amounts of cayenne, it's gonna have the cinnamon. I'm not gonna put cayenne in here this time in case people don't really like that spice, but I think everybody will like the heat from the cinnamon, so I'm gonna put the cinnamon in. Now, actually, never mind. I'm an idiot. I had the cinnamon earlier. Telling you, I've not had my third cup of coffee yet. All right, so gonna mix this all in, and then we're going to line and grease a quarter sheet pan and add this to it. Okay, I've got my quarter sheet pan and I've got it lined with parchment. Now I'm going to grab my brownie batter. So y'all can see what I'm doing. Just cleaning my whisk out. There we go. It is a very thick batter. And it's gonna stay nice and fudgy. And this is one of those recipes, gluten-free or not, it doesn't matter. It tastes good. So, super yummy. Okay, I think I've got all I can get out of there. Okay, so we're just gonna scoop this into our dish. And you could use dark chocolate chips. I think that would be excellent instead of the semi-sweet that I used. That's just kind of what I had on hand. And that's what I do with most recipes like this. I just, whatever chocolate chips I have on hand or melting chocolate, that's what I use. All right, we're gonna just press this out. See how fudgy that is? Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. Parchment is getting all tossed. You want it to get as even as you can. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect since it's a thicker batter. It's not going to level on its own, but you want to get it as level as you can just so it bakes evenly. So once you get it spread out, then go back and just keep going with your spatula until it's mostly even. Okay, my oven is at 350. I think it's as smooth as it's gonna get. The brownies here. I'm gonna pop them in, and then I'll show you what they look like when they come out. Okay, just pulled these out of the oven. Nice little crusty top. Yum, yum, yum. I put a very small paring knife right in the center, you can see right there, and it came out clean, so I know they're good. Oh, yum. Yum. I know this isn't the prettiest bite in the world, but look how fudgy and chewy that is. So stinking good.